Okay, today is April the 3rd, 2016, and we're watching the Northeast Pacific Water Vapor Loop. And right now, at 11 o'clock p.m. in the foothills of Los Angeles, we have a barometric pressure of 30.02. The temperature is 58 degrees. The relative humidity is 42%. We have a dew point of 45 degrees. And today we had very heavy chemtrail aerosol spraying going on in the Southern California area all day long. It started uh, fairly early in the morning, around, I was around, I guess, well, it wasn't too early. It was around 11 o'clock in the morning is when I recall seeing a lot of chemtrails being sprayed, and that continued all day long. Okay, so what we're looking at right now here on the water vapor map is a right angle. We can see that right here. This is a right angle. It's being formed. We've got a system here spinning. This is a fairly this is just one of the frames out of the 7.5 hour loop we're watching here. We can see that that is a straight edge all the way along there. And this is a straight edge right here. So we've got a phased array transmitter. This is probably a microwave transmitter doing this heating, and that is causing this contour, and that will weaken the core. They've got heat all through this entire area right here, but the outline is showing up right here. Also, we have a channel of very dry air all through here, and that is also being caused by a radar, a phased array transmitter right here, and that is separating this moisture field right here. This is the jet stream. We have a disruption right here. This is a man-made disruption all through here, and that will prevent the moisture field here right here from merging with what's happening right here. We have a low pressure system right down here, and this is forecast to bring some rain. This may move north according to the people on the television set. We may get some rain by next Thursday or Friday, but with all the chemtrail spraying going on in Southern California, that helped maintain an 18% relative humidity most of the day. So instead of getting a moisture field moving in and cooler temperatures and nice damp weather, we had very unseasonable warm weather. It was almost like a early July summer day today. Very low humidity, a lot of chemtrails in the skies, just basically awful weather. And that is because of what's happening right here with all the aerosols being sprayed. We have a moisture field moving in. We should have a cloud cover, damp weather, and possibly some cooler, maybe even some moist drizzle and some rain. But that's not happening. Let's take a look next at the infrared loop. We can see that right angle once again very clearly right here. That is basically a perfect right angle. This is one of about 12 or 13 frames, 14 frames. We have about a 7.5 hour loop here. Let's just roll this and see what happens. So we have a low pressure spinning right here, and they focus very powerful RF energy in the form of microwave on top of this weather system, and that will break down the core pressure. It'll separate the front from the core. So by tomorrow, this entire front will be pretty much disconnected from the core right here. And we also have that area of high pressure, that channel of high pressure between these two systems to maintain separation. That is also cutting off the jet stream flow, which should be delivering moisture right into the west coast. We also have a separate moisture field right here, which is evaporating. This is all being chemtrailed. We're going to take a look at that. Okay, let's look next at the western U.S. water vapor loop. We can see that artificial man-made channel of high pressure. This is done with a phased array radar. This is probably microwave that's being utilized to maintain separation. We've got a jet stream field right here, which is being interrupted right here. And what we have down here is that low pressure, strong low pressure, upper level, low. And we can see that counterclockwise movement. and we have moisture moving right up into California. But instead of overcast skies and cooler weather and maybe some rain, we have a heavy chemtrail spraying. The jets are out spraying. Looks like graph paper. Our skies are just being sprayed at very high altitude. These jets that do this work fly at altitudes of probably 45,000 feet. In fact, you can't hear the engines. Now, LA has many, many airports, very large airports, and we can hear the jets when they fly over. If they're at 30,000 feet, 20,000 feet, or even higher, 37,000 feet, we can hear the engines on those planes. But these chemtrail jets, they fly above the commercial flight traffic, and so we cannot hear their engines. And they're also not on the flight tracker, the flight radar, the real-time flight trackers. So we can't determine what their call signs are, where they're going, where they took off, and all the rest of it. Okay, let's take a look next at the western U.S. rainbow infrared loop. We can see some of that moisture moving through the area here, right through Southern California, as a matter of fact. But we didn't have any damp weather whatsoever. Like I said, the relative humidity was around 18%. Yet we have all that moisture moving in, and so that's some good evidence of how effective those aerosols are at preventing any sort of precipitation. Okay, here's the jet stream, and we only have half a map right now. Let me refresh this thing and see what comes up. Okay, here we go. So we have that disruption right here, that channel of dry air that's been built in with a phased array type of transmitter to maintain separation between the moisture field here and the one that's out over here spinning. All right, so we've got high pressure in certain areas at the surface level right down here. We'll take a look at that next. Here is the next we have the surface analysis map, and we can see that offshore of California we have a developing gale right up here north of the Bay Area. We have a cold front here, obviously. We have high pressure built in. This has all been installed and basically stays here and moves around depending on what's happening out over here. So we've got this low that's moving to the basically east northeast, and we can see that the pressure is built in such a fashion as to deflect this weather to a northerly vector. And we have a trough indicated here. We have a trough. We can't really see it, but it's right over California inland. We have a trough here. We've got these highs that are strategically placed. They're installed in order to block what's going on here. We have this trough. This is all moving to the east. We should be getting rain from the El Nino moisture field that's moving up into Southern California, but none of that's happening because of the chemtrails, the aerosols being sprayed. We do have a forecast, a chance, keyword chance, of rain either Thursday or Friday. But the way things are looking right now on the, let's go back to the this map right here. This is the infrared loop. We have all this moisture right here moving on onshore. That should be delivering cooler weather, if nothing else. But instead, we have the chemtrails and the warm weather. It was probably about, I don't know, 81 degrees, right around 80 degrees today. It was abnormally warm for an early April day, and also we're forecasted to have 90 and 91 degree weather on Wednesday and Thursday. We have this pattern right here moving in, and we have summer weather, hot, dry summer weather on tap to deal with what's happening here, and also this next system. If we go back to we've got another, let's roll this one right here. We have a very large system out here that is being attacked. We've got a transmitter, microwave probably right here, and there's the core. It's not, it doesn't have much rotation. We can see that. We've got this jet stream flow moving in. So all of this will be the next system after this one. We've got this flow here. They're going to have to block that. You're already setting that up here. And then they've got high pressure here. That will probably intensify, and that will give us the 90-degree temperatures. Okay. All right, so let's take a look next at the, this is the sea level pressure analysis. We can see that high pressure right here. This has been here for many, many days in one area or another. They move it around, just jockey it around, depending on what's going on out here. We do have low pressure indicated right here over New Mexico, and we have a low right here indicated right there over Nevada, California-Nevada border. So we'll have to keep an eye on things and see what develops. Okay, here's the 500 millibar map. We can see that low pressure down here. This is got that flow. This is a El Nino type flow. Pineapple Express is coming out of the tropics around 20 degrees, right near Hawaii latitudes, moving right into California. We should be having cooler, damper weather, but we had 18% relative, humidity, very low humidity today. All right, here's the 300 millibar map. We can see that trough, low pressure. All right, so we'll just have to watch and see what they do. We should be getting rain and cooler temperatures, but that's not happening because of the chemtrail spraying and these installed high pressures that they put down at the surface level. We have strong high pressure here, so that's causing a problem. All right, next thing, last is the SSEC water vapor map, geostationary water vapor map. And we can see the chemtrails being laid out. Here's the Hawaiian Islands, and they are spraying right through here. We can see all that spraying perpendicular to the flow, jet stream. We have all this chemtrail activity going on. Now, if we pan over to the east, you can see some chemtrail activity right out here. And today we had a lot of chemtrails right over Southern California. There's some lines. We can see them right there in the last couple of frames right here. So they're doing a lot of spraying offshore. You can see that. We have a low pressure system down here. We can see that spinning, trying to spin. They have a transmitter on that right here, right down there. Let's go back and take a look at the big map again. Yeah, we can see the, this should be a nice big spiral right here, but they've got a transmitter right on top of that core, and that is why all that dark area is showing up. This is not really developing the way it should. We'll just have to keep an eye on things. We should be getting cooler weather and damp weather because of that flow. That is an El Nino type pattern and perfect opportunity. We can see that this moisture field is also wrapping up. We've got something developing up here. We'll just have to keep an eye on things. Okay, that's it. We will do another update tomorrow.